Hello, I'm Father Bill Brown, Director for Mission and Apostolate of the Oblates of the Virgin Mary, and we welcome you to Now I Begin, where leaders learn to lead like Christ.
Hello, my name is Joe Paternchak, former Chief Human Resources Officer at the Cleveland Clinic, working with Bill to develop this course, Now I Begin, over a period of 3.5, 4 years now.
So we're very happy that you're a part of our course here today, and we're excited that you'll be a part of this community, and hopefully the things you'll learn will really help you in all aspects of your life, whether it's your personal life, professional life, ministerial life.
So an obvious question, why servant leadership? Why is servant leadership important as opposed to other forms of leadership? Because there are multiple models of leadership out there. The facts are that, and the research bears this out, that servant leadership just generates a more engaged workforce. And when people are more engaged in their work, they're more connected emotionally and intelligently to the work and to the mission. And this brings out the best in them. So as we begin to think about this and learn about servant leadership, you may ask the obvious question, well, I'm not necessarily in a leadership role. I don't lead anybody right now. I'm an individual contributor. My response to that usually is that in a high-performing organization, everyone's a leader. You might be leading a project, you might be leading a task force, you might just be leading yourself. But you'll see as we go through the course that the competencies and the skills that you're going to learn will help you be a better teammate and help you be a better member of a community. So those are some of the thoughts I'd like you to think about as we go down this journey together.
So in this particular module, there's going to be goals and objectives like we have for every module. And this one here, there are 3. The first is for you to be introduced and to learn the 5 actions of a servant leader, which Joe's going to describe in just a minute. To be able to use the group discussions, class-wide discussions, the activities that will be on the online serving leadership program, and be able to really apply that to your lives, both in your personal life and your ministry life. So those are going to be our 3 objectives in this course. Now, one of the key things about this course as well is it's a leadership formation course, but it's really rooted and integrated with spirituality, with the scriptures, with Ignatian spirituality. And so we're going to really ask you to reflect both in your prayer and your journaling, in your discussions and conversations with others of, where is God in the midst of all the things you're learning, and where is He inviting you to grow? Jesus ultimately is the servant leader. He teaches us really what it means to be a servant leader. And as he says, if you want to be great, you have to serve the needs of all. And so we're hoping in this course it's really going to be able to help you and apply some of the learnings to be a more effective servant leader.
So one of the aspects of this course that you'll soon discover is that it's a practical form of leadership. It focuses on 5 actions that answer the question, what do servant leaders do? One of the actions, the first action, is getting people to run to a great purpose. In a lot of organizations, a lot of people feel that they're not really committed to them, they're not connected to the mission. Servant leaders make people feel like they're connected to the mission. And when people get connected to the mission, it becomes a personal cause for them, and they get emotionally and intellectually connected to the work that needs to get done. The second action of a servant leader is upending the pyramid. Servant leaders put others before themselves, and they put the organization before themselves as well. And they share recognition. Even when that recognition might be recognition that they deserve, they share it and they give it to others. They blaze the trail. They understand the strengths of their people. Now, how does a leader understand the strengths of their people? Well, you've got to get people, you got to spend time with people. And sometimes putting them in situations where they might fail, and turn those negative situations where the people do fail into learning situations. And through that, their strengths begin to surface. They raise the bar. This is one of the biggest misunderstandings about servant leadership. How can you hold people accountable if you're serving them? Well, servant leaders raise the bar because they're always striving for higher level of excellence. When was the last time you really grew very much from having an easy goal? Probably not very much. But if you had a goal where you probably didn't even have a line of sight on how to accomplish, you probably had to go learn about that goal. You probably had to ask a lot of questions. You maybe even had to pull together a team of people to help you with that goal. So raising the bar is something that servant leaders always do. As we know, Jesus is always raising the bar spiritually for us. And then building on people's strengths. Really important part of servant leadership. Getting people in roles where they can succeed. And at times, challenging them with maybe putting them in a role that plays to something that's developmental for them, that plays to maybe not one of their strengths. But most of all, we're putting people in roles where they can succeed. And when people can succeed and they have success, it builds a culture of success. So these are the 5 actions of a servant leader that we'll be exploring and doing a deep dive in each one of them.
Great. So one of the things I want to describe is the different essential elements that will help you to learn to not just know the concepts, but to apply them, is the framework of this online servant leadership program that we have. So there's some essential elements of group discussion. So each of you will be in a group, and there's going to be questions that will be asked periodically in each module, and it's be able to share those thoughts that you have to those questions, because one of the ways we really learn is engagement with one another. It's one thing to study things on your own, but when you're engaging the material with somebody else, in this case your group, you can learn from what someone else sees that perhaps you didn't see, and they can learn from you, vice versa. We're also going to then have class-wide discussions, which means everybody in each cohort will have their own class-wide discussion. And again, some of the key things that surface from the group discussions you can share, or additional learnings that came to you as a result. The other thing is we're also going to have some monthly Zoom calls in which we're going to be able to teach some of the material and also have some conversation together through the Zoom online experience. And then we're also going to ask you to have an accountability partner, someone you can just pair up with and just check in with, just to be able to say how some of these things are going and things you're learning, and sharing with an individual person that they can help you in your own aspirations and goals that you have. So those are some of the key things of this online serving leadership framework that we hope is going to serve you, as Joe says, in this experiential learning. And then finally, we're also asking that there's going to be things that can be of a personal nature that are shared. So we really want everyone just to honor confidentiality in the groups that's shared, as well as the class-wide discussions. What that does is that builds trust, it builds a greater engagement, and a greater community. And that's one thing we also want to build, is just a great community together, a community of learning. So Joe and I are really excited about joining you on this servant leadership journey. Now I begin, and we hope it really has some real significant learnings for you that can help you in all aspects of your life, whether it's your personal life, your work life, your ministry life, your community life. So we look forward to being with you and learning with you, and we'll see you soon. God bless you, and thank you for being a part of this course.